Assalamualaikum viewers, this is Engineer Khaliqur Rahman and welcome to my channel Civil C. Viewers, today we are going to discuss about the second part of the cost estimation, in which we are going to discuss about the assignment of resources on project activities, and secondly the cost account, which has two parts: define of cost account and the assignment of cost account. Without any delay, let's start our lecture. So for the assignment of the resources, click on the activity, and the activity detail has been shown in the bottom. So in resources, you can click on the ads. Here you can, in filters, you can select all resources. Okay, for the resource mobilization, you need helpers. Click on the helper. You can see that this is the columns. You can also customize it. Here I select according to the requirement: resource name, ID name, cost account. We will discuss further in the next step. Price per unit, this means unit is hour, helper working in hour, 180 rupees per hour. Okay, the budget cost is 27. This means the 3-day activity, the source mobilization is 3-day activity, and working per hour is working per day is 9 hours per day. So multiply by 9 with 3 days. In 1 day 9 hours is the working hour, and multiply by 9 hours with 3 days consecutive days is the 27 hours. That is the budgeted hour. Which means 3 days 9 hours single. If I required 3 helpers per day, which means that the per day budgeted hour is 27, and multiply by 27 with 3 is the total budgeted hour. So that become 27 multiplied by 3, 81. If the budget hour is 81, here we select, then here the budget cost has been changed. So multiply by 81 with 180, that will be the 14,580. that is the budget cost. So moving forward, site clearance. For site clearance, we required helper. It is a 1-day activity. We required 1 cross helper and the excavator for 1 day. So similarly, layout marking. For layout marking, we require the helper and the mason. Okay, this is also 1-day activity. So additional thing required is the material, that is chalk for the layout, and that should be added in the expense category. That is chalk. I already added it. Chalk categories: material, uniform, overall activity, account type. Budget cost is 5,000. So moving forward, excavation and lean foundation. Foundation block A. In this we require helper, mason, and the in material: sand, crush, cement, mixture machine, and the compactor and excavator. So these are the activity resources required on the activity of excavation and the lean foundation block. This is 2-day activity. So the excavator required is only for 1 day, 9 hours, and the compactor also 9 hours, 9. Okay, the cement bags are of 18 numbers. That is according to our demand and requirement. brush is 27, hours. So these budgeted units will be adjusted according to the requirement and the quantity of work and the time in which the material or resource is required. Is the part of planning. I just want to understand you that this requirement is according to your work program and the activity which is going to be held in the duration and the number of days in which the activity is scheduled. So these changes will be made according to the requirement of the activity and the number of days in which the activity is executed. So moving forward, all the activities will be resourced according to the similar process and add resource according to the requirement of the activity. So I will add all the resources according to the requirement. You will also add up. I will add up these activities in my own time. After adding all the resources to the activity, I will teach you further. Okay, after adding all the sources and their cost from the activities, you can see that one thing I want to teach you, that I have not added the cost of any member of the staff working supervising the activity, because one supervisor at a time watching more than one activity. Each staff member will working at multiple activities according to the site requirement. So at the completion of the project, you can add that in an expense category of the final project completion. This is the activity of the project completion. Go to expense and add the lump sum expense of the staff's supervision. Fee, mean cost. So this will be in administration. Uniform budget cost is 50 lakh. You can add this to the expense category. So this is all about the working of the resource, assigning to activities and their cost and their expenses. So in the next part we are going to discuss about the cost account. Now we are going to move on the cost account, and before moving towards the cost account, there are few things that I want to understand you, that after adding the resources to the activity and their expenses and their cost, so there are few things that you should have to keep in mind. These are the resources utilized on the activity of the excavation and the laying of the foundation block. So these resources must required, and these are the price per unit of that resources, budget cost, budget units, actual units, remaining unit time, and their role. So this is the resources and this is the expenses, nil expense, and the summary. Here I want to explain you what is the summary. There are three filters according to which the summary is being understood. This is the display units, in which all the labor and non-labor units are being displayed and their duration. So the budgeted labor units are 36 overall on this activity, and the non-labor units are 27, and the duration of the activity is 2 days. This is the actual which will be after the completion of the activity. Means the actual labor unit after completion of the activity will be shown here. The remaining, it's the difference between the actual and the remaining. If suppose the activity is completed and or in progress, if we utilize the actual working hours 20, then remaining will be the 16. If the activity is completed, then it utilize the 30, then it will be 6 remaining. But that 6 will not be utilized, and the actual will be 30. So the completion, here we express the completion percentage. If the activity is 100% completed, then here it will be shown as a 100%, or if 50%, then it will be shown as a 50%. So at completion, how much hours utilized at completion, and here is the complete variance. The variation between the budget and the actual will be shown here. Similarly, we can also in the layout columns, here is the activity ID, name, and the budget total cost on each activity. Total budget cost on each activity, and the original duration and the remaining duration, and the start date and finish date. So we can customize it according to our requirement. If we want to check the cost, this is the actual total cost, budgeted labor cost, budgeted non-labor cost, budgeted material cost, budgeted expense cost. So you can see it from here that this is the total actual cost. Okay, we can rearrange it in a sequence so that activity ID, activity name, original duration, remaining duration, actual cost, budget labor cost, start and finish. Budget total cost, budget labor non-investment. Okay, so the arrangement of the columns has been set according to the requirement. This is the original duration, remaining duration, actual total cost. If the actual total cost, it will be placed on the right side of the budget cost. Okay. So the budget total cost is that at the actual cost, because actual cost is 0 if we are not update the activity for their completion. So that's the reason that actual cost is 0, because we update the cost in the activity details, then it will be updated here. Budgeted labor cost, that labor cost separately seen for each activity in that column, and the budgeted non-labor cost in this column, budgeted material cost in this, and the budget expense in this. So these can be seen separately, each activity cost depend upon their usage. So this is the start date and this is the finish date. So now we are going to move on the cost account. Okay, now we are going to move on the cost account. Go to enterprise, and and click on the cost account. From here we can add the cost account. Here we can give the ID 11 manpower. Here we can modify it as all labor sources are included in this. This is the description of the account. Okay. Moving next, add. This is double two. This will be the cost account for materials. All materials are included in this account. All materials are included in this account. Click on OK. Okay, moving forward, add is it 333 machinery. All non labor included in this account. Add four expenses. Modify it. All XP expenses are included in this. You can explain in detail also. I'll explain it briefly. You can explain in detail. You can also mention the which item, which material included in that category, so in order to understand while its application. So this is the defining of the cost account, and the next step is the assigning of the cost accounts. So close it from here, go to enterprise, close it. Now click on the activity, click on the cost account, okay. This is the helper. This will be included in manpower. Moving forward, site clearance, resource mobilization, okay, expense, the cost account for the there is no expense for the resource mobilization. Site clearance, excavator, that is machinery, the cost account of machinery. Helper, that will be in the manpower, no layout marking. Helper is included in the manpower. and mason is also included in the manpower. In expenses chart, this will be in expenses. Okay, moving forward, excavation. Cement will be included in the materials cost account. Compactor will be in machinery. Crush will be in materials, and excavator will be in machinery. Helper will be in the manpower, and mason is also in the manpower. Mixer machine is in the machinery, and sand is in the materials. So in expense nil, so this is the process by which you can add all the materials, machinery, and expense and the manpower. These are the cost accounts. So this is all about the cost estimation, in which you studied defining of roles, defining of resource with rates, assignment of resources on project activities, cost accounts, how we define it and how assign it. So this is all about the cost estimation lecture, and next we are going to study the activity course. So shortly coming back with the next informative video. Allah Hafiz.